Om. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. See, what is this, or what is the nature of this pure consciousness that we are? First of all, we do not have words in the vocabulary to explain that infinite. We don't have. You think you're calling it infinite, but do you have the experience of infinite? Do you know what is infinite? You say which doesn't have an end and no beginning. Do you experience anything in your life which has got no beginning and no end? But you just accept it. Yeah, it is infinite. Like this is laptop. I know it is here, it has got a shape, it has got these qualities, it is in this way, it is in that way. What can you say about the reality? What can you say about the infinity? What can you say about it's all knowing? Yes, I understood it is all knowing. What did you understand? You did not understand anything. You are still thinking that all knowing means it knows everyone's mind, it knows everything about the world. That is not what all knowing means. That's just one tiny little part of it. See? And yet, the only way we can talk about it is through the language of the scriptures. Only because we are in limitations, our mind understands limitations. It understands the tools used within this limited usage of words and vocabulary. So what are we meditating for? Or what are we meditating upon? What are we meditating upon? Is it something which you can experience? Is it something that you don't know and you want to know? Is it something which is separate from you and you want to become one with it? Is it something like that? See? Think about this. Don't go with a sheep mentality Everyone is thinking this way, everyone is seeking the reality, I will also seek the reality. But what is that reality? Is it separate from you? Is it different from you? Is it something that you are going to merge into? Is it something that you are going to experience like I'm experiencing you right now? Or like we experience food and become one with it? Is it something like that? What is it like? So the scriptures say that this reality, this true nature of ourselves cannot be comprehended by any technique of objectification. And what are the techniques? We only have those techniques with which we gather the knowledge of the relative world. Seeing, here, and what are those techniques? Seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, thinking, convincing. These tools, these faculties, these equipments which you employ in the outside world to gain knowledge, I see you, therefore I believe that you are. I hear the sound, therefore I say, yes, there is a sound. I can speak, yes, I got this faculty. Like that, I am thinking, otherwise, if you want to think and the thoughts are not coming and you start, so immediately the first thought that comes is, I am having dementia. Don't talk to yourself in that manner. It's good. If thoughts are going away and not coming, very good. It's not an unhealthy condition. Our Shastras, we are wanting to go to a point. In deep sleep, do you have any thoughts? No. Do you call yourself demented at that time? This is the way the nature is. Sometimes thoughts, sometimes no thoughts. And we are using these thoughts at the mental level to have an experience within this relative world. And we have practiced it enough from childhood till now. And we want to use the same technique of gathering knowledge and want to apply it on the essence, on the reality, on the truth, on the pure consciousness. Can we? So I see form, the Atma, the self, doesn't have a form. Yet it's supporting all the form. Why even Atma, even mind doesn't have any form. The hearing, the ears can hear the world, but it cannot hear the Atma. They cannot, when I say bodh is there in front of me. I know immediately, even if I don't know that person, yeah, I heard about it. You told me about that. Both, she's from this place and she's friend of this person. Yeah. I don't have a face for it, but I have some idea of who that person is. That she is sister of this one, husband of this, wife of this one, and friend of this one, and living in that particular suburb. etc. Some data is there. What data do you have about the self? Any data that you collect is in the relative. And what is the self? What is this reality? It is beyond, transcendental to the relative. Intellect, mind, senses, they can function only in the relative. The Atma is the absolute. So, how do we utilize our faculties in this relative realm? Relative realm means where there is coming and going, birth and death, past and future, all this data. That is relative. Relative is that which is not permanent, that which is continuously changing. That is relative. What is Atma or the self or the reality? That which is never changing, that which is never born, that which is never ending, that which is ever the same. It is the one constant. So how with the changing you are going to come to know that which is unchanging? Your senses are changing, your thoughts are changing, waking, dream and deep sleep are changing, your age is changing, your body is changing. Every part of that you think you are at this moment is changing. And with that we want to know what is the unchanging one, the constant one. How do we approach this? We have to recognize that all that which is changing is not affecting the changeless. This is data given to you in the relative. That which you are seeking, that reality, the changeless principle, is unaffected by the changing. Now find out, is the sky affected by the changing sunrise and sunset? No. Is the sky affected by day and night? No. And so on. Is the gold affected by the appearance of the ornaments? No. Is the water affected by the appearance of oceans and waves? No. It does not become less when the waves are created. It does not become more when the waves merge back into water. The water remains the same. The gold remains the same. The sky remains the same. Is there something within us? Can we don't look for it. It is not that something is within us. Are you having the experience of change? When you say, think about the body, you know the body is changing. When you think about your senses, you know they are flitting from one object to the other. When you think about the ears are thinking about different, hearing different words. When you think about tongue, the tongue tastes different things. But because tongue is changing, are you changing? Because eyes are seeing different forms here on the screen. It's changing. Eyes are going from, but eyes are one. Forms are many, eyes are one. Sounds are many, ear is one. Tastes are many, but tongue is one. Similarly, thoughts are many, mind is one. And who knows all this? Is it someone outside of you who knows all this? Or you know it? And if you know that the five senses are continuously, mind is not disturbed. Mind is going through waking, dream, deep sleep. You know it. You are not disturbed. So, this changeless principle that we are wanting to realize huh, in meditation or in our life, for which we are so eager, and one should be eager, that is called mumukshutvam. That is called an urgency to realize the truth that we are. And it must be there. It must be cultivated in every person. That is the purpose we are here. But only searching, are come to conclusion sometime? Or are we only going to search? Let the mind do the searching. But because mind is searching, oh, I am tired now, I want to go to sleep. Oh, I slept enough, I have to get up in the morning for meditation. No, mind went through these changes. Did you go through this change? You say, but yeah, I was sleeping and now I am awake. Are you really? Analyze it. Look at it. If you are the one who went to sleep and you are the one who woke up, then who is the one who knows that the sleep came and went, the dream came and went, the waking has happened today? Who knows this? It cannot be the waker, because waker cannot have the deep sleep experience. The waker cannot have the dream experience. He is different to the dreamer. He is different to the sleeper. Then who knows? Is that person who knows someone else other than you? No, but you said no, I know. Then who is this I? Is this the I who is the waker? Is this the I who is the sleeper, dreamer, listener, thinker? Which I is this? Or is this I in spite of all this? Just like the water is supporting all the waves, but water is independent of the waves, coming and going of the waves. Water is the changeless principle. On the water, waves are imagined, because there is nothing called wave. If you touch, feel, taste, see, you are seeing only water, but you are calling it a wave. Exactly the same way. There is only one constant, one pure consciousness on which all the names and forms are imagined. The material that has gone into making all the names and forms. What is the name and form? This body is a name and form. These senses are the name and form. The thoughts are name and form. Subtle, but okay, it's still there. Just like in dream also you have thoughts, name and form. So our mind also is made up of thoughts. Thoughts have a form. They begin, they end, they stay there for a few minutes, seconds. But what is the material out of which the waves are made? It is the water. So it's already water. And what does the wave want to do? It wants to realize the water. Why? Because it is thinking it is the wave. Now apply it on yourself. We are thinking that we are the human, man, woman, father, mother, daughter, sister. And this person, this individual is wanting to realize the constant principle. Is it possible? Can the waker ever go into sleep? No, the waker has to vanish in order for sleep to happen. Can the sleeper become the waker? No, the sleeper has to vanish in order for waking to happen. Can the individual come to know the infinite, beginningless, endless, birthless, deathless, all knowing, eternal, ever blissful reality? Can the waker come to know? Can the seeker come to know? Can the individual come to know? No, cannot. You have to vanish. You have to vanish. Meaning, your idea about yourself, that I am only this body, I am a thinking person, I am having these five senses, I was born to my parents, that I am so many years old, that I got these diseases or I have got these successes, I got so many children. All this data which props up the individual, as long as the wave is thinking of itself as a wave, it can never merge into, it can never be the water. Can't even say merge. It doesn't need to merge because it is already water. From our point of view, water, wave is water and the water is water. Wave is, water is merging back into water. But that's a stupid statement, because how can water merge into water? It's one. But it seems that way. So does the wave need to die in order to know the water? No. It doesn't need to die. It is already water. Then what it has to give up? What has to come about? It has to stop identifying with its form. That I am a wave, that I have a beginning, I have an end. So what do we have to do? We have to stop identifying ourselves as the form, that I am this body. If I identify with this body, then this, with respect to this body, I got a wife, I got children, I got parents, I got friends. This is called the samsar. It is changing, body is changing, senses are changing, mind is changing. Then frustration comes. Children are changing, but you want them to be child. They are growing up. Before they used to listen to you, they were dependent on you. Now they don't even ask for you. You are frustrated because you feel useless. Because you are identified with them. Similarly, we are identified with our body. As long as we are identified with this form, we cannot come to know the reality which is inherent within us at this very moment. So how do we go beyond the form? As much as you are convinced at this moment that you are the body, that much more than that you become convinced that you are the infinite spirit, and function that way. There is nothing called husband, but you function as a husband, isn't it? There is nothing called son, but you express through this body as the son. There is nothing called employee. It's only a man, but you, in certain environment, you are functioning as if you are an employee. There are certain, you have just accepted that you are a man, that you are a husband, that you are a son, that you are an employee, that you are so many years old, etc., etc. Only thing you have accepted. That's all you have done. Why don't you accept that you are the infinite one and start expressing through this body? Just accept it. And you don't even have to express through this body. Whatever you become convinced or you become one with, Expression is going to happen anyway. You don't have to do anything. It will automatically start expressing. So accept yourself, think again and again, in every experience, in every thought, with every contact, with every knowledge that is coming, come to be the unchanging principle. The moment you say, I like this, I don't like this, you have become the ego, the individual. If you think I am awake and not dreaming or not sleeping, you are the individual. The infinite one doesn't make these type of statements. Or if Mahatmas also speak this way, that I am going to sleep now, but they are not attached to sleep. We are identified with the sleep. If someone doesn't allow us to go to sleep, we will get irritated. If we don't get what we want to eat, we get irritated. If things don't go according to our wish, we get depressed. This is sign of individuality, ego. If you are the constant one, if you are being the constant one, in and through all the experiences, you will be unaffected by whatever is going on. Because you are indifferent to it. From water's point of view, there are no oceans and waves. Once you come to be the infinite one, which you are already, the vision gets transformed. Then there is no body, then there is no mind, then there is no senses, then there is no otherness. There is no division. It is one homogeneous mass of consciousness supporting all the manyness, but not affected by any manyness. Can we bring ourselves to this point of disposition? At least try. Don't try looking at the outside world. You focus only on the self. Be the self. And the nature of the self or the constant one is unchanging one, meaning undisturbed one. Where is the disturbance? In the mind. Then what is it? Remain equanimous. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Remain equanimous. So now take that as the cue and sit for whatever time you want, undisturbed by whatever is happening around you. That's the training that we need to give our mind. And for some people, they will be able to do it. For some people, they need some support, some anchor. Keep contemplating, I am the undisturbed one. Aham Brahmasmi, I am the undisturbed one. I am all that there is. Ocean is not disturbed by the waves. Only the surface. Ocean is 14 kilometers deep. Is ocean only the waves? Or it is much more than that? Are you only the thoughts? Are you only the body? Are you only the senses? That's only the surface. Who are you? I am the infinite one, supporting all forms, yet disturbed by none of the forms. Supporting all the stimuli, within and without, supporting the entire universe, but not disturbed by the universe. There is no conclusion for this. Keep thinking in this manner. Keep contemplating. Eventually, just like you keep thinking of the sleep and eventually you go fall into sleep, you keep thinking like this with no conclusion, and suddenly, by grace, you will vanish. The individual will vanish. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.